The surprising transformation of Alexandra Daddario. At 10 years old, Alexandra felt that movies were a religious experience. Picture 10-year-old Alexandra Daddario in the mid-90s, plaid skirt, shiny Mary Janes, politely clapping at a Manhattan play because her parents, both big-time lawyers, insist cultural enrichment is essential. Mid-performance, a talent manager spots her giant blue eyes and whispers that face pays the rent. Some mothers would sprint for the exit, but the Daddarios treat showbiz like just another extracurricular, right next to ballet and those Disney World birthday trips. By 13, the quietly dramatic preteen had stolen VHS copies of American Beauty and Moulin Rouge from friends' houses. Cue a full-body epiphany. Acting isn't merely fun, it's her ticket out of prep school perfectionism and into big, messy feelings she can't express in polite society. She tells anybody who'll listen that movies are her religious experience, which sounds outrageous coming from a kid wearing orthodontic rubber bands. Alexandra's time on daytime TV taught her a lesson. Fast forward to 2002. Alexandra is 16, statuesque, and knows her monologues backward. She lands Lori Lewis on All My Children, daytime TV's unending carnival of surprise twins and evil amnesia. She quits traditional high school, scandalous on the Upper East Side, and dives headfirst into sudsy chaos. Daily routine. Memorize 20 pages while eating a bagel. Sprint to set. Find her light before the camera lurches in. Fake smooch a boy twice her age. Cry about a secret pregnancy. Rap, repeat. 1 year later, the show dumps her faster than a summer fling. She now admits she walked like a malfunctioning robot on screen. Still, the experience taught her how to survive under fluorescent lights. And, gossip alert, rumor says she perfected the skill of crying pretty on command by imagining a world without carbs. When ABC shows her the door, she grabs the subway back to reality, but vows to come back stronger. Alexandra got her big break in 2009. The next few years are New York actor purgatory. She bartends in Midtown, and where stockbrokers tip with crumpled singles and ask, "You're an actress?" "Sure, honey." She trades spilled beer for fries from the kitchen staff, pockets enough cash for a late-night taxi to Brooklyn, and uses the downtime to rehearse Shakespeare monologues behind the bar. Then, in 2009, destiny arrived via self-taped audition. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief. She records 3 takes in her apartment, mails the USB stick to LA, and, boom, 1 week later, she's Annabeth Chase, demigoddess warrior armed with Yankee blue eyes and a sword. It's such a big deal, she doesn't realize she's about to join a blockbuster franchise. She stuffs 2 suitcases, kisses Manhattan goodbye, and moves to Los Angeles, a city she knows only from Entourage reruns. Fun tidbit. She tells friends she thinks Hollywood Boulevard is cute, which every Angelino knows is code for you haven't smelled it in August yet. Alexandra sent out 15 auditions a week after Percy Jackson. By the time Percy Jackson hit theaters in 2010, Alexandra's already working opposite Matt Bomer on USA Network's White Collar. She signs on thinking it's a blink and you'll miss me cameo. Producers love her chemistry with Bomer so much they keep dialing her back, right up until they take down her character's airplane in the season 1 finale. R.I.P. Kate Moreau, we hardly knew ye. Alexandra shrugs and books the 2011 bro comedy Hall Pass alongside Owen Wilson and Jason Sudeikis, proving she can swing from demigoddess steel to R-rated slapstick without smudging her mascara. She spends the next pilot season chugging iced lattes, making 14 auditions a week, and reassuring NYC friends she hasn't joined a cult just because she ends emails with "best" from sunny LA. Alexandra Daddario graduated from her childhood in True Detective. Enter HBO's 2013 casting call for True Detective. Alexandra reads for a minor role, but showrunner Nick Pizzolatto spies something feral behind those baby blues and recasts her as Lisa Tregnetti, the steamy, morally complex mistress who tangles with Woody Harrelson. When the series debuted in January 2014, her fearless scene had tons of talk on social media. Memes proliferate, think pieces wonder who this blue-eyed hurricane is, and overnight she graduates from that girl in Percy Jackson to the breakout everyone's Googling. Alexandra later gushes that True Detective was huge for her. Casting directors who'd pigeonholed her as YA fluff suddenly hand her scripts with words like tormented, edgy, and, yes, Oscar bait. Within months, she's training to outrun earthquakes opposite Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in San Andreas. Not bad for a former bartender who once bribed kitchen staff with beer for burgers. By 2017, Paramount Pictures had Alexandra's face and abs plastered on every bus shelter from Miami Beach to West Hollywood. The studio hyped its Baywatch reboot as the next great sand and sun juggernaut, pairing Alexandra's ice blue stare with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's megawatt grin. Opening weekend, more belly flop than Cannonball. Critics torched the script. Rotten Tomatoes coughed up a 17% score, and the domestic gross stalled under $60 million. Alexandra later admitted she felt weird in Times Square when the box office receipts came in. Still, she gamely hit every red carpet in that fire engine red gown, joked about SPF 500, and even told Entertainment Tonight she'd totally sign on for a sequel, if only to redeem the slow-motion running. Translation: she salvaged brand Alexandra by playing good sport, while quietly vowing never again to hinge her self-worth on Rotten Tomatoes percentages. Public flop or not, the Baywatch experience lit a passion in Alexandra. Within months, she'd pivoted from poster girl to behind-the-scenes boss. 2019's Can You Keep a Secret didn't just star Alexandra. It carried an executive producer credit next to her name. She juggled script notes, location scouting, and Instagram teasers, then sprinted into press junkets, armed with savvy talking points about owning your narrative. In the same breath, she bankrolled and headlined indie horror We Summon Darkness, proving she could swap rom-com flirts for satanic cult screams without going wild. She told The Hollywood Reporter producing made her feel like adult Reese Witherspoon on a budget, because controlling financing meant no more waiting for a green light from dudes in boardrooms who assumed her only superpower was slow-mo beach running. Alexandra didn't have great luck in 2020, but 2021 came in swinging. Pilot season falls flat, productions freeze, and 1,000 actors discover sourdough starters. Alexandra worries the phone might never ring again until HBO's Mike White calls with a hush-hush project called The White Lotus. She quarantines in a Maui resort bubble, undergoes nasal swabs every other day, and shoots 6 weeks straight while the rest of us doom scroll. When the satire drops in summer 2021, Twitter can't stop analyzing her frazzled newlywed Rachel. Meme factories churn, critics drool, and the show's finale pulls 1.9 million same-day viewers. HBO Max's biggest limited series number so far. Alexandra scores her first Emmy nomination and jokes that she owes it all to bored eyeballs and one very unflattering hotel lobby wig. Still, the gold-plated invite list shifts overnight. Scripts with words like complex, prestige, and back-end points now land on her doorstep. A career glow-up wasn't the only plot twist. A mutual friend lures Alexandra to a beach hang where she meets producer Andrew Form. Yes, the guy behind A Quiet Place and Friday the 13th. Sparks fly faster than a slash film jump scare. In May 2021, she dropped an Instagram of them, mid-kiss, sun-blasted, captioned, "I love you," with more heart emojis than a teen's diary. December brings an emerald-cut engagement ring. June 2022 delivers a New Orleans wedding dripping in vintage lace, streetcar confetti, and enough beignets to spike local powdered sugar stocks. She tells Women's Health marriage feels inevitable, like the last puzzle piece I'd been hunting since childhood. Paparazzi later catch them house hunting in LA's Franklin Hills, proving the newlyweds are nesting faster than a pair of hummingbirds. Alexandra signed on with Mayfair Witches for 2023, which brought some more eyes to her. The honeymoon phase barely cools before Alexandra signs on to front AMC's Mayfair Witches as surgeon-turned-sorceress Rowan Fielding. She devours 3 Anne Rice novels during fittings, perfects a soft Louisiana accent, and posts behind-the-scenes selfies with cobwebbed mansions and vats of faux blood. The January 2023 premiere nabs 1.7 million cross-platform viewers, AMC's biggest freshman launch since The Walking Dead, World Beyond. Critics nitpick some CGI serpents, but most agree Alexandra carries 8 episodes with mesmerizing ferocity. Shout out Variety. She tells Collider the job scratches her itch for morally gray heroines. And yes, she's game for season 2 as soon as the network coughs up a bigger effects budget and a hazard bonus for all the Rain Machine nights. After trying for some time, Alexandra finally had a baby. In July 2024, she appeared on Vogue's digital cover, cradling a baby bump and revealing some sad news. now followed by a rainbow baby. November brings the quiet announcement: baby is here, mother and child healthy, name withheld to thwart headline vultures. On Instagram, she posts a raw, no-makeup snapshot in postpartum loungewear, captioning, "Women's bodies are magic. Mine just pulled off the wildest trick." The post racks up 2 million likes and predictable troll comments, suggesting she focuses on motherhood, not movie sets. Alexandra comes back in a January 2025 LA interview. "I'm not a bad actress. I just hadn't found the right projects. Emmy nomination people. Read the resume." She adds that 25 years in, she's still obsessed with work, balancing midnight feedings with Zoom pitch meetings for her next producing venture. What do you guys think of Alexandra Daddario's transformation over the years? Let me know in the comments, and I hope you have a great day.